Craig, what do you want to do today?
Well, Dustin? Oh, shit. God damn it. God damn it.
I just want to ride bikes with my friends. I just want to ride bikes with my friends. Yeah! Bike stuff, bad jokes, pizza, friendship. I just want to ride bikes with my friends. I just want to ride bikes with my friends. With my friends, my wheel friends.
One autumn day, Craig, Dustin, and Steve got together to record a podcast after Patrick from Freewheeler threw a kick-ass party. Stumbling through their collective hangover, this is what they recorded.
Everybody hear themselves okay?
Yes.
Check.
A little bit.
Bing, 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 bing.
Turn this up a little bit.
Bing, bing, bing. Which one? You're 3.
Bing.
Hello.
Bing,
Bing.
bing.
Hello.
Bing.
Am I 2?
You're 2.
Cool, I can see me. I think it adds a wholesome aspect having the dog's like collar jingling in the background.
Yeah, wait till you hear the bird squawk.
I listen to podcasts
why
where
is
people
it-
like are cracking beers and shit.
I know. Sometimes I'll listen to another podcast and be like, why the fuck do I even try? Like,
exactly. Don't.
Here's a
better if you don't.
3 hours unedited, me driving around in my car, sponsored by Stamps.com. It's like,
Dude,
why do I
everybody's sponsored
try?
by Stamps.com.
Fucking-
You should reach out to Stamps.com.
They'll reach
It
out to
doesn't,
you when
it doesn't
it's
work
ready.
that easily.
Gotta make those numbers.
Yeah,
make those
it's a
numbers.
Gotta make those
It's a
numbers.
game.
Bim bam,
Bing bam, bim bam, zip zop. Gotta zip, gotta zop. Gotta get those numbers.
Well, you know, we probably just don't have enough Post-it notes. That would
I
really
could
bring
go
up the
for some
business
more
If that
here.
wall
notes.
was filled,
Then you'd have you would just be brimming with ideas.
Set it up like an actual
and
scrum board.
we
so
should
I
start
can
writing something
accomplish
every time
something.
we come over here. Then
Just to come up with more
just to have shit on the wall,
ideas for
stuff to look at. A jumping off point.
jumping off. Yeah,
it's a jumping off
starter
point.
zone.
egg.
Yeah, exactly. It started with an egg. It ended with him crushing an egg. You want me to fry that up for you? Get it?
So glad we watched that last night.
Did we watch that last night?
Yes,
I don't remember last
that very
night.
episode, actually.
I remember leaving the party. Remember that, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, dude, I was like super drunk when we got to Martha's.
Yes.
Yes.
There was potato chips
Patience was
all
like-
over the floor.
Dude, that's not from me. I didn't spill.
Patience was like, I've never seen Steve and Dustin that drunk before. I was like, oh, you've just never hung out with me.
yeah.
Oh, man. Did I look suspicious? Oh, it was nice having a little heart to heart with Alan about how we both have had dysentery.
Oh yeah. His was in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Yeah. It sounded a lot worse. He lost like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
I lost 10.
His was in Afghanistan.
Oh, man.
He got real dysentery.
You got dysentery light, it sounds like.
He got American dysentery.
It's still bad.
It was
it
still
sucked.
bad. It was not good. Hey, well, that brings us to one of our talking points for the day. We can open it
Yeah.
up with dysentery?
I had,
Question mark?
Yeah, that was at the. I was gonna save dysentery for the end. I mean, we haven't even officially started the show.
I feel like we got some good material in here already.
Was it? Was it good material?
Yeah, welcome back to the Wheel Friends podcast, the comedy podcast at the intersection. Ah, shit, fucked it up. A bicycling podcast at the intersection of comedy. No, it's shit.
Welcome back to the Wheel Friends. If you've been listening to this show, then you know what it's about.
Yeah, so Dustin had got dysentery in the time since we last saw him.
Yeah,
I don't know how much you want to talk
birthday.
about dysentery. Day after your birthday?
Yeah, so
For real?
well, two days.
Oh.
Like it was starting to come on the day after, and like I thought it was just a really bad hangover.
Ah, you got my gift.
And then the next day rolls around. I was like, oh, yeah. I don't know how I managed to like actually be at work pretty much every day. Like I don't really know what
You
I
worked
did.
through dysentery?
The doctor
took
said
one
I
day
should have
off.
died.
I took a day off. But yeah, I just felt like I was pretty brain dead the whole time, so I don't know if I actually did anything all week.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Man.
Constantly heading to the restroom and wandering around the shop looking at stuff.
All feeble and
God.
broken. A shell of a man.
Christ.
Shambling around.
I think we managed to ship out like
Time.
a clock or something.
What is time?
Where am I? What year is it?
Are the clocks counting down? Is this my
Where's
fate?
Karen?
The clocks are watching me.
Where's Karen?
Karen!
Yeah, so that was that week, and then I had a fever the next week. So apparently you got to regulate your diet after dysentery. Otherwise, if you eat spicy food, you'll get a bad fever for some reason. And then, my immune system was weakened, so I got whatever cold was going around the week after that. So 30 has been off to a great start.
I turned 30, and then I got
sick for a month.
And then I got sick for a month.
Man.
Oh, well, we're glad you're alive.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me too.
Dysentery is like
I
some...
beat the Oregon Trail.
You
yeah,
should've
I was
went to
gonna say,
the
that's some Oregon
hospital.
Trail shit.
And meanwhile, Steve was in Mexico, not getting dysentery.
Nope. Just got some loose, got a little loose down there for a little bit at one point in time, but it was mainly from tacos. Just eating a lot of tacos.
I assume so. Yeah, the first day I got it, actually, I rode my bike to work, which was a bad idea.
Oof.
It's like I was just exhausted by the end of the day. And then the next week, Monday, I thought I was feeling better, so I rode my bike, and that was also a bad idea. And then I didn't ride my bike for like 4 weeks. And how have you been, Craig?
Oh, I've been adjusting. I started riding again because I picked up like a freelance thing. So I was biking like 8 miles to that every day, which is pretty fun. I had a few close calls near one of the high schools over there. Like I was going through Wyoming at like 2. Oh, good boy, Mushu. At like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know, whenever schools get out, and this like. It was after listening to that 1A episode.
About bike safety or whatever?
Yeah. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to be a better bicyclist. Like,
I hit a bunch of kids with my
yeah,
bike.
yeah. I was just mowed through people in a school zone. Yeah, that was what I resolved to do. I was pretty radicalized by that episode of 1A. But no, I mean, in my head, my big takeaway was like, I should just be a better bicyclist. And if I'm going to die out there on the streets, I don't want it to be my fault, at least. So, but anyway, so I'm biking by the school, and this truck pulls out, and like it's a car lane, a bike lane, parking lane, and then this parking lot to a high school. It's this fucking school zone that's getting out of school. And this truck pulls right out without stopping, and stops only because he sees this car coming, which is, to my left, and I'm overtaking it. So it's this awkward stop, and then the car apparently flags the truck through, and the truck goes, but I'm still going because I have like all this momentum and can't stop. So I just weave I do an S thing around the front of the truck. But then they get up next to me, and I guess it was the husband who was in the passenger seat, and like the wife was driving or whatever. And so he's like, you see somebody waving that you can go and you think it's okay to just go yourself? And I'm like, yeah, that guy has no legal precedence over the intersection. Also, you think it's cool to just pull out of a school zone without stopping? Like, what is your problem? Leave me alone. Like, I'm not the bad guy here. You're the one who thought that this guy has the right to say, you can cross 2 lanes of travel. You have my permission, when I'm still part of that negotiation. So that was my first near miss.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was immediately after that 1A episode. I was like, what in the fuck is happening?
They obviously didn't listen to it.
Yeah, they didn't hear it. You should have pulled them aside and had a conversation with them and written it down.
Yeah.
Like, you listen to this, and I just want you to calm down.
Hey, yeah.
And you need to listen to this episode. And get back to me about it. Here's my number. And then give them a gentle kiss on the cheek.
I mean, I didn't engage with him. I just kept riding. I was like, I don't need to hear this. Like, he's going to go online and complain about this, and some other cyclist is going to tell him why he's wrong. I don't need to do this.
I almost hit a bike today. He was such a dick.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. My wife was pulling out of the parking lot without stopping like a mad person.
I get yelled at recently, but I squeaked through a red light, so it was my fault. But
it happens.
Don't do that. Literally, it's like I didn't do the right thing, but it was like there's one guy behind me.
Yeah.
And then an empty, intersection.
So you made an Idaho stop.
Yeah. I slowed down and stuff, and I looked around, And then I was just like, nobody's anywhere, and it's a 4-way stop. Yeah, it was a stop sign. It was not a light. It was a stop sign.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, 4-way stop, and I didn't see anybody there, so I just went through it. So
But was there somebody there?
there's one dude in my lane.
But
like,
behind you?
Yeah, he was like following.
well.
He was following me.
Oh well, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he honked at me when I did it. And then he got up next to me when I was like riding and was just like, I don't know, shout. I can't I love how they shout at you like you can hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's like fucking cars and shit in like the outside world. Like I can't hear, even if you are mad, I get it, dude, but like I did something wrong, so you can be mad, whatever, if you're mad that I broke the rules, but like I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You're not doing anything. You're just being mad. You're just outwardly being mad.
Yeah.
And so I think he said something, you got to obey the laws, man, or something like that. But he yelled at me a few times, and I
this was
just kept riding because I don't care.
One of my problems with that 1A episode is what they kept bringing up points like this, and like, well, when cyclists break the law too, like, and like human beings all break the law at the same rate, so it's
Yeah.
not like
We break a bunch
cyclists
of
are
laws.
breaking the laws any more than motorists
Yeah,
are.
you speed, we do rolling stop all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But-
I do a lot of rolling stops.
But the problem is, we can't just like go, this crime is equal to this crime. Like a car not stopping at an intersection is equal to a bike not stopping at an intersection, because they're two completely different physics
Yeah.
problems.
If I fuck it up, worst case scenario is I kill me.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
You don't want that on your hands, but if it's my fault, you'll get over it.
If a 2-ton car
Sorry, I
doesn't
ruined your-
stop through an intersection, like it's gonna cause a lot more problems than like
Yeah, and it T-bones somebody. Whereas if a bike T-bones a car, again, only one person really gets hurt in that scenario.
yeah.
Like, I get fucking shit could happen and run off the rail, Final Destination stuff, like a bunch of logs come off a truck and then kill a bunch of kids or something, but like, yeah, you're only really hurting yourself, which I get it. It's irresponsible, and some people make a big deal out of that kind of thing, but like, we're taking by riding the bike, we're taking responsibility for our own actions. Like,
yeah.
it's not what this has to be about, but
So the week, like that same week after that 1A episode, I'm biking down Plainfield, and I'm riding literally right over top of a Sharrow, saying this is where a bicycle can ride. And I've got a person behind me just honking on their horn. And I don't know, I did have headphones in, and we'll get to that. But because I know there's some criticisms there. But like, so I turn around and I look at this car that's behind me, and as I'm riding over a Sharrow, I just bow forward and present my arm out to them and point at the Sharrow on the ground. Like, look, motherfucker, I'm supposed to be here. Honk all you want.
Yeah.
This is my space.
yeah, right? This is my portion of road.
So I don't know if he thought that, like, me having maybe my headphones in, I didn't know that there was a car behind me and I should get out of the way, which is like a lot of drivers' mentality, which is just bizarre to me because, like, that's not traffic. Like, I don't need to get out of your way because you're behind me.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, like if you.
Sorry, are we?
No, this is just frustrating.
Or,
It is a
dude,
frustrating
like,
thing.
One thing that's been frustrating me a lot lately is like when I'm on my way home, usually if I'm driving especially, I'll notice this on Hall where it turns on to Eastern. Dude, like fucking everybody uses that bike lane as a turn lane.
Oh yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. That's not okay. Like that stuff makes me mad too. Like,
Dude, if I'm ever coming up here on a bike, dude, I'm just gonna be like, knock on your window and
I'm
be
not-
like, hey asshole.
yeah, this isn't a
This is
turning
my lane.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knock on windows. That's my extent. I don't
it's
want
the
to
same.
talk to them.
Cherry onto Eastern. It's like people use that as a turn lane too, and it's not a turn lane. That's where the bikes go.
There's a picture of a bike on it.
Yeah, it's got a bike.
And it's not like as wide as a car either.
People are dumb. yeah. Oh my god.
This is one of the things I wanted to have new Steve on to talk about because he's in that New York riding.
Oh yeah. Man, new Steve is pretty great.
Really bringing up new Steve a lot lately. Before the shows, I'm fucking drinking his whiskey right now.
Hey, is he coming back anytime soon?
Not for a while. I want to do a remote episode with him.
Old Steve talking directly to new Steve here. If you ever listen to this, thanks for the Woodford Reserve.
So he even bought Steve a drink.
It tastes great. No, you're cool, dude. Probably. I don't know. I've never met you.
He was so excited about the cheap beer prices at
Man,
Monarch's
he was
Club.
just slinging those around for
As
everybody.
opposed to New York prices.
Yeah, so he was buying $8 New York beers, which was like what Coors. It was
Coors Banquet.
Coors Banquet. So they're $3 at the Monarchs. He bought like 3 rounds for everybody in our little circle, not like the whole bar.
Sounds like a great guy.
They were cheering for new Steve. Parades for new Steve.
We almost put him on a chair and like lifted him up. One day he'll reach those heights of glory.
I'm a leech.
But anyway,
I'm the one drinking the free beer.
my other friend Stephen Cortade,
Thank you.
who lives in Brooklyn and commutes to Manhattan.
He's so much cooler than me. Already.
It's not a competition. But yeah,
He works at.
no, I don't know if we can disclose that. So
Bleep that part
We'll
out.
cut that out.
he was saying he feels safer riding in New York as opposed to Grand Rapids, but he doesn't even have to get to use their bike lanes because they're full of delivery vehicles all the time.
Oh yeah, so you're just like riding in the street anyway.
We have like the opposite problems here. It's so bizarre.
That is weird.
They have even more infrastructure, but it's full of delivery people and trash and trucks parking and Uber drivers and traffic barrels and cops running in to get donuts and all of the cliches. Like, it's strange.
Man. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that episode.
Sorry, man. I don't know.
Cooler than this one with me in it.
This isn't a competition. I mean, sure, everybody called him New Steve, and
It's really funny.
that sort of brings
That's
up
really
like
funny that
maybe you're a Steve 1.0, something a little drab you'd find in an antique store.
It's like it's still nice, but it's got a couple scuffs on the corner.
Yeah, Gen Z kids are gonna be picking up old Steve's. Oh, this is pretty nice.
How you doing?
I'll put this on when company's over.
You kids like to get high?
So Steve,
yeah, speaking of bike infrastructure,
in your absence, instead of biking in New York City, you were biking in Mexico, which I still think is very cool.
Mexico, yeah,
I mean,
dude.
for an old Steve.
For an old Steve. Old Steve was down in Mexico. Yeah, man, it was sick. So it was basically we were there for 3 weeks, and we went to various different. Mexico's cool because the geography. I mean, I guess like the United States, like the geography is like differs vastly over short like distances. You've got like mountains in one area and like deserts in another, and like we basically what we did was like started at an island and then went to a beach, like a beach side, like a coastal town. Went to Holbox and then Tulum, and then went into like the jungle, Palenque. Yeah, so we went into the. Oh God, I've told this story so many times. It's getting it like it's all mushed together.
Good
at this
podcast.
Point.
It was a big yawn from from Steve.
Hey, I'm
Dynamite.
very hungover right now.
Yeah, it was Pat from Freewheelers.
Oh
Halloween
yes, yeah.
party
Shout
last
out to
night,
Pat.
so,
Yeah, we got trashed at your. Well, I got.
Thanks, Pat.
I got trashed at your house. Thanks,
everyone's
buddy.
slow moving today.
Yeah, everybody's a little slow.
Yeah,
We went to Holbox, then Tulum. Those are both like water, like on water. Like Holbox is an island, so like biking there, everybody bikes because like Holbox like doesn't have really that many cars on it anyway.
Dare to dream.
Yeah, it's like mainly taxis that are golf carts. It's golf carts. Everybody's got golf carts.
I was just thinking that's like the perfect vehicle. I don't know why we don't all just drive golf
Yeah,
carts.
dude. Well, in Michigan,
Slow,
it's a little different.
lightweight, safe,
Michigan-
rechargeable.
Yeah, Michigan, it's different because we have snow.
Just put plexiglass on it.
Oh, you can get one of those like
Little space
big
heater.
all-terrain ones with
They have those too?
with the meaty
It's fucking
tires.
sick. But then the other thing you see
But electric,
everywhere,
because fuck combustion energy 2019.
it's all beach cruisers. It's pretty much just like beach. Everybody drives a cheap beach cruiser and stuff. All the bikes that we rented, like we'd rent bikes and stuff, they're just like
sun-kissed from salt water.
Sun-kissed and rusty, a little rusty, because like just salt everywhere because you're on the ocean and shit. But yeah, so you just bike everywhere. And the thing that I want to build that I think is so cool, actually, I should talk to Alan about this. And good, now we're recording it, so it's on the record. They've got these like.
This is how we send messages now. You just come on the podcast.
Yeah. I'm not gonna actually
talk to somebody in the
it.
bike community.
These bike carts. They're these carts. They're
just like more.
It's the back of a bicycle, but like where the fork is like a whole cart. It's all tied into that, and then there's just like
an ice cream box.
Yeah, or like
a
coconuts.
pizza box.
It's always coco frios, like this like cold coconuts, and they like hack them open for you, and you can just drink out of it. Or mangoes, just like mango shits. Like everybody's like little
Here'd be
businesses.
like cold brew.
yeah, exactly. Well, dude, they've got, once you get into the city, like once we get to more because the first couple areas that we went to were like fairly smaller, like tourist destinations and stuff. But like once you get like into the towns, then there's like crazy shit on the carts. Like people have like whole stores on this like fucking cart. One of them just got single cigarettes. Fucking sick.
I don't know why they
Hey,
don't
get your
sell
iPhone
single
screen replaced
cigarettes
right
here.
here.
Yeah, for real, dude. Once you get to Mexico City, it's like everything is in these things. Like, but yeah. So the first two areas that we went to, like, we were biking through on like dirt, basically dirt from like rental bikes, or like the hostel that we stayed at had like free bikes. Like, we could always get us bikes like from the hostels that we stayed at and stuff.
Fucking cool.
So yeah, everybody mainly gets around by bike. Like when we were in Tulum, you're mainly getting around by bike to get to like because Tulum's a little bit bigger and like the beach is kind of far away from where we stay. But everybody uses them. Like it's way more like Wild West style of driving, because I guess like it's not hard to get a driver's license by any means. So like,
Do they sell them on the carts?
I've got. So fast forward to Mexico City. We did find where you can buy forged documents in an open thing. There's places selling greeting cards, but they're not selling greeting cards. You can get forged you can get like a fake passport. We did find that out. We were told by like on the walking tour that we went on that happens.
I think being a super spy is probably a lot easier than we all think it is.
Oh, totally. Yeah, so the first part, like the first places that we were mainly biking around down there, like that was just the main means of transportation for a lot of people, because it is like a poor area that we're going to, so like people don't have cars, like they have bikes. And one thing that I saw that was pretty cool is a lot of people on their just like regular like bike would have this wooden fashioned seat thing in front of them for like their child.
Oh.
So they like put their kid on that instead of having like the thing on the back that like straps them in and shit.
It works.
I think there's like less car accidents in the parts that we were at too.
Hashtag ban cars.
Like I was talking to some of like the local people, like everywhere that we went, like Holbox, Tulum, then we went to Bacalar, which is like a lagoon.
Ooh.
So it's like this. It's actually really cool. It's like a freshwater lagoon. We were only there for like a couple days because we were starting to get sick of water after a certain point. But it's freshwater. It's the land. It was the lake of 7 colors.
Somebody spill some oil in it or something?
No. We were trying to figure it out too. We were like joking around. We were joking around like about how the different colors, like we were trying to like count all the colors and stuff, because like we went kayaking out on the lagoon, and and we got to 6. We couldn't figure out what the 7th one was, and at the very end,
Our charming studio dog, Mushu, yanking on the headphone cable.
like a good boy.
Hey, can you pass me that squirt bottle just in case?
But we found out that the 7th color is mud. It's just mud.
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah, it's brown. It's like all these different shades of blue, like gem tones of blue, and then brown. But yeah, so, and then we went to Palenque. So like for the first 3 towns, we biked around like basically like side streets in the small cities and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
Just like were you trying to get lost? Was it like meandering, or were you hitting up like?
we knew the general. Martha knew the area better than I did and stuff, and it was like just reading Google maps and stuff like that. But we mainly would just like ride to the beach and back, or like ride to like the grocery store or whatever and back. Just get him, not me.
Did I get?
I want to get you.
Hey, that was blind under the table, cowboy style. So,
Shooting from the hip. You need a key gun.
like, yo, no,
Key gun.
squirt ammonia right in the dog.
It'll give him something to think about.
Oh my god.
Won't kill it, but
Hey,
it'll give it something to think about.
Go back to episode 40, the bicyclers, if you haven't.
Yeah, that's a great listen. It's a good listen. Yeah, so for the first few places, we were just like riding on side streets and stuff. But I was excited for Mexico City because it's... So, a couple things I didn't know about Mexico City until the flight to Mexico City.
Number one, things I didn't know when I went to Mexico City.
Number two, the elevation is...
We're starting at 2.
Yeah. Well, it's like the David Letterman. You start at 10 and go to 1. But I only have 2 things.
Okay.
So. Number 2, its elevation is higher than Denver, Colorado. So we were reading that people often get elevation or altitude sickness when in like visiting Mexico City for the first time, and it takes a couple days to recover. I was like, I'm a fit guy. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It won't be that bad. Maybe it'll be a little winded and I'll get drunk easy, like, and stuff. Wrong. I was wrong. I felt horrible. I felt so bad the whole time. For like the first day, like it doesn't really set in until like 24 hours.
Your body's like, are you trying to adjust to a new climate without telling me?
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Fuck you.
Cracks its knuckles.
And turns out we work in pharmacy, me and Martha. We should have known. Yeah, she's a pharmacist. She should have known that that there's drugs that we can take for that. But we didn't know that we were going to like that high of an altitude.
Yeah, what is the altitude there?
Check this out.
The altitude of Mexico City is 7,382 feet.
Thanks, past, future Craig. Shit.
Wait, just do it one more time. What?
Thanks, future Craig.
Podcast magic.
There we go.
We all know now, right?
Yeah, we all know.
7,382 feet.
Yep, we all know that it's
7,382 feet.
It's like a Dora the Explorer episode. Do you see boots? There he is. So that's how high Mexico City is.
Yeah, so that's how high Mexico City is. So at
the
that
Myler High City.
At that
is what they call
height,
it.
I got kind of sick.
What's
Mainly-
it like being altitude sick? Is it like your joints, your back, your
you're tired and you're nauseous. That's like what I got basically. And it's like it wasn't from anything that I ate, but it also like killed my like appetite a lot too. So it was unpleasant to say the least. So as soon as we started feeling bad, we immediately like wrote off the idea to bike there. Is your dog just like licking his balls right now?
Yeah, I was licking his beepus. Is what we call it.
His beepus. I think it adds a wholesome aspect.
So there's some good ASMR.
God damn it. And now he wants to lick your face with the same tongue.
Yeah, he's a real charmer.
Jesus Christ.
Let Moose give you a little smooth.
All right, so if you're traveling to
Come on,
Mexico City, put one extra day in the itinerary of just hanging out at the hotel.
Ask your doctor
or
for a drug called Diamox, and that'll help with that if you take it beforehand. The second thing is that Mexico City has a higher population.
That's number one for things.
Number one things that I did not know about Mexico that I should have beforehand. It's higher population than like New York City or Chicago or LA.
It's insanely high.
Yeah, it's like 25 million people or something like that.
Wowzers.
It's insane. That might not be right, and we will edit that out if it's wrong. It's this many people.
The 2009 population for the city proper was approximately 8.84 million people.
Thanks,
Wow.
future Steve. Craig. Thanks, future Craig. Whatever. So, yeah, it was insane. And bikes are a huge part of, like, their transportation. Because, again, like, it's cheap.
It's
so,
the
like,
people's vehicle.
you get a bike for, like, the equivalent of $100 American at the grocery store.
That's all you need.
They sell them everywhere. But, so cool things about the bike community in Mexico City that got me pumped.
Do it real peppy like it's a game show, and then I'll just find a sting to throw over it.
I don't know what I want to call it, though. Steve's cool things... Wait. Give me a second. Steve's cool bike things in Mexico. It's pretty much two things again. Steve. Number B is bike rentals there, insanely like easy and affordable. For like, so they have these, there's a bunch of different companies, but the general like consensus is that like you put your credit card into a thing. There's like a rack with bikes locked up, you know, and you get the app on your phone, and you pay for a subscription. So you can pay for a day, you can pay for a week, a month, a year, and literally it's like $20 US for a year subscription to this thing.
That's cheaper than
Netflix. Insanely.
They should
like,
put that
cheap.
on the box.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the biggest thing on the bike.
Cheaper
on the
than
poster
Netflix.
for it. Cheaper than Netflix. And basically, what you're getting with that subscription is, when you unlock a bike, you get it for like an hour. Before you have like an hour to get to your to get it to another bike rack. So you have to drop it off at one of the bike racks. And you have like an hour. Otherwise, like if you don't get it back in within an hour, you get charged.
They send a kill squad after you.
Yeah. Somebody comes for your life, pretty much. Well, first they like clip a finger off a family member.
I mean, it almost sounds like an action movie already. Just like,
Dun 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 dun.
as soon as you take the bike out, you have 1 hour to return it. Otherwise, you're hit with extra charges.
Yeah. It just charges you more money if you have it for over like the allotted time or whatever. But so that's a really affordable like thing, like method, because that people just use those bikes. And also like public transit in general is pretty good there. Like there's a lot of taxis, there's a lot of pedicabs, and there's like the subway system, which is like good too. So like it's no different than like New York City or LA. Well, those two places are very different, but like but like it's like I don't know, it's a giant
It's
fucking
like
city.
a big city.
It's like a big city.
It's a modern metropolitan area.
No fucking different than anything that we have, except everybody just speaks Spanish, so it's cool. Like everything just sounds sexier. It's like any cool city in America, but sexier. That's basically Mexico. Mexico's it's way sexier than like anywhere here in America. Totally. Just people just making out all the time. It's fucking cool shit.
Its horniness level is
Oh.
maximum.
Insane. But yeah, just bikes and sexiness.
Bikes and babes.
Bikes and just hot people.
So that's your
Men and women. And that's my takeaways from Mexico.
Was that A and B?
No, that the sexiness was just a tangent.
What was B again in the bullet point? Oh, bike
That was the
rentals.
first one. I didn't get to the second one yet. I can't remember it right the second, but I'm not done with bike rentals yet.
Yeah, 'cause I felt like there was
there's
a part
more with
5.
bike rentals.
There's more?
There's more. Yes.
But wait, there's more.
Well, yes, Dustin. There is more.
Tell me.
Tell you more.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I'm still hungry, asshole.
I'm a fucking starving orphan. Of course I want more.
Yeah, duh. I need a certain amount of calories to live, idiot.
So then there's other bike rental things. There's like other ones like the one I just described, but then there's literally ones where there's just free bikes in a designated area, and you can just
That's badass.
use one and just drop it off in another designated area, and people adhere to the rules because they're cool like that. It's the other thing is like down there, like everybody was so nice, even though I was a bumbling idiot talking in like one-word sentences, basically. Just like beer, yes, thank you. Like that's what it would have sounded like if you in the reverse and shit. Like I'm just like mispronouncing shit on menus and relying on Martha to like do that. She did the heavy lifting. Shout out to her for like carrying my ass through that country because it was wonderful and I appreciate the experience, but I did not know what people were saying to me most of the time, which is stressful as fuck. Yeah. Especially once we get deeper into Mexico, there's less English speaking people. So like until we got to Mexico City, it was like we even spent the whole day with like a couple that doesn't speak English and we don't speak Spanish. So that was like a lot of Google translating stuff on your phone and then showing it to them.
Yeah.
And then laughing.
Just like in the commercials?
Yes. We literally lived that shit out. Second cool thing about bike culture in Mexico City
drumroll, Steve's
is
number
one thing that's cool
number
about
one cool thing about Mexican bike culture. Steve, take it away.
They have this every Sunday. They close down like 55 kilometers worth of like city streets, and it's closed off to like motor vehicles basically. So it's all walkers and bicycles, and it's like from the hours of like 7 to 3 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or something like that.
Probably scooters, inline skates.
I think there's some of those like electric scooters,
skateboarders.
But, like, a lot of the roads are kind of cobblestoney sometimes, or just like not a lot of roller skaters. The roads aren't great. It's a very old city, and it's literally sinking.
Oh.
Like centimeters a year or something like
That's
that.
okay. They got a couple. It's a really tall city too. They can sink a number of centimeters.
Yeah, a lot of tall buildings. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm
They're
sure.
kilometers up.
Sure,
They can
fine.
go centimeters
Sure, it'll be
down.
fine.
Okay, so I was just wondering who all was taking back the streets.
Yeah, it's mainly bikers and just pedestrian traffic and stuff. You saw different things, skateboarders and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think the skateboard scene in Mexico City is pretty cool too. If we're talking about rad things,
Everything's red.
like yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of multi-wheeled traffic down there. It's
Beautiful.
pretty sweet. But yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. Like I really wanted to, and I was set on renting bikes and do it just like riding around one day while the streets were closed down. But
That was altitude.
the altitude sickness prevented me from wanting to do anything. I just wanted to die. I literally laid in my bed for a significant portion of time, like my little hostel cubby, watching like Lord of the Rings for the 5,000th time, because that makes me feel better when my tummy hurts. I couldn't even get drunk, dude.
Fly, you fools.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, I couldn't even get drunk because I felt so shitty. My stomach hurt so bad.
That was like one of your first plans, like, oh, I have altitude sickness? Well, I guess I'm getting drunk.
Yeah, didn't happen. I couldn't even drink.
Cross that one off. That
Yeah.
doesn't work.
And then I wanted to die because I couldn't
It's
get drunk.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it just was Lord of the
It was
Rings.
part alcohol or part altitude sickness, part delirium tremens from alcohol withdrawals.
yeah, exactly. I really needed some Ativan to level me out.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that when I was in Denver.
See, I've been to Denver, and it didn't happen there. Like,
Yeah, and like we
I've
went
been to Colorado.
Well, I guess we were only up there for one day. We went camping up in the mountains, like above Denver. But all I really had from that was I was just so winded, like even just sitting in a chair.
Yeah,
like,
I just thought I'd be tired. Like, instead I was like nauseous to death and like had these stomach cramps and just had to like lay on my side and like also you can't just have water. Like you have to like buy bottled
Your
water.
stomach's like apex predator, my ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just drilling me. So yeah, that was rough, but it was still really fun. I want to go back to Mexico City and stay there for like at least a week so I can adapt. And I hear once you adapt to it,
It's just like being anywhere else on planet Earth.
well, yeah, well, I mean, like once you adapt to it and you come back to like where you're from, like
Oh,
come
yeah.
back to Michigan,
Your
you're
blood
like
doping.
yeah, you're like a superhuman. So like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah,
It's a little
bikes
superhuman.
are very prominent in Mexico, and it was really fun.
And that's Wheel Friends Abroad.
Yeah, Wheel Friends Abroad. I meant to record some stuff, but I was literally like sensorily overload, and I couldn't focus on any of. We took a lot of like GoPro footage, stuff that we want to put on YouTube, because we went to like the ruins, we went to like Palenque, which is like the big pyramids and shit, which is really cool.
Pyramids and shit. How culturally aware he is. What a world
Hey,
traveler.
listen, I never
Pyramids
claimed
and
to be. I am not culturally. That's why I'm afraid to put that. I'm gonna have to just have it be silent with like music over it or something like that, because like it's literally me being like, I'm at these ruins and I don't remember what they're called.
This is a pyramid.
I drank a bunch of tequila before we got on the bus that took us here, so yeah,
Wow,
this is it.
Yeah.
Battery's gonna die because I forgot to bring a charged one. So see you later. And then
I'm one of those bad adventurers.
yeah, exactly.
I'm not that guy from The Mummy.
Hey, listen, I'm not. Yeah. I'm the one that lets the mummy out of the tomb.
I'm no Brendan Fraser.
I'm the guy that gets killed first. Like,
At least you're not a Benny
Oh no, I think he is a Benny.
Yeah, I feel like in this situation, I am the Benny. We have to get out of here.
Goodbye, Benny.
Oh God.
The only Mummy movie.
Yeah, you stop at the one. First one, perfect. Great movie. Here with Wheel Friends movie reviews, talking about how great the Mummy is.
Wheel to Reel Cinema Hour.
Wheel to Reel.
You know, whatever happened to Brendan Fraser?
No, there was a whole thing. Like, it's deeper and darker than I'm ready to go into.
Why he disappeared.
Shout out to Brendan Fraser. You know, we still love you.
We still love you and your soft pink
Brendan
mouth.
Fraser, always friend of the show. Brendan Fraser, always invited. Seat always open for Brendan Fraser. If you want to talk about bicycles and the Mummy and the lack of bicycles in the Mummy, we are always here for you.
You can tell us how cool it was to be the Encino Man.
Were there any bikes on stage or on set?
He was also in Airheads too, right?
Were there any bikes on set at the filming of Airheads?
Airheads with Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, was he also in
Steve Buscemi-
George of the Jungle? Yes, he was.
Yes.
George of the Jungle. Just he drew on his
Monkey
Encino
Bone?
Man.
Was he in Monkey Bone?
Monkey Bone, yes, that was also him.
Yeah.
What's the one with the devil? There's a girl devil.
Bewitched?
Bewitched? Was it Bewitched? Bedazzled. I think Bedazzled, maybe.
It might be Bedazzled, but that also sounds like a crafting movie.
He keeps making wishes, but they're like monkey paw wishes, so like bad shit
but
happens.
with Elizabeth Hurley, right?
Yes.
Did he try wishing for a refrigerator that has never-ending beer in it?
No.
Oh no, Dustin's pivoting into his own podcast.
And we're back. Yo, that's the show that you need, dude. You got recording equipment.
The
Ninth Kingdom. That's the show. Like we need a Tim Bet, like a fucking worst idea of all time style show, but about the 10th Kingdom.
900 episodes about the Ninth Kingdom.
Cut this part out so nobody
It's the
steals
10th
it.
Kingdom,
10th Kingdom.
guys.
Shit.
But we could
See?
call the podcast
The
Ninth
Ninth Kingdom. Or the 11th Kingdom.
Ooh.
We're the one viewing all of it. All the kingdoms.
Yeah, we're in the metaverse, man.
This is totally bike related. We can give it up.
I think we got enough bike juice in this pumpkin.
Bike juice.
Bike juice.
I did ride bikes when I was in
Oh,
Scandinavia.
Were you in Scandinavia in the last month and a half?
No, this was back in like 2015.
Oh, well past that.
Not very relevant anymore.
I finished a book about
Are you like opening a bag of chips over there?
oh shit, I'm fucking with this Velcro. That's okay. I don't think I wanted to put that part in anyway. Our bike pumpkin is full of juice.
Did we hit all the talking points?
We did crash and 3 near misses. Oh, actually, I mean it was 1 near miss, and I did crash once, but you guys were actually there for that.
What?
What is it on the ride?
Oh yeah, when I fucking went over the curb in my best crash of the year.
Oh yeah. Remember that? Talk about it again. He doesn't remember.
Yeah, I was probably like pretty.
What
drunk.
street were we on?
We were
he
on
hit
Lee.
He hit the median.
We were on Lee, which I'd been riding every day, part of this freelance thing. So I'm
Wasn't
there
paying
fucking
attention.
every day, and we were joking around about Steve ordering from different restaurants in Mexico, and I just was laughing so hard I fucking hit a curb.
Oh, I do remember that.
But you did like a superhero roll. You like hit and then like rolled.
And then I rolled, but it
you're
was
all right.
it was the softest landing on a crash I've had in like years, and it was just so nice to lay there on the grass. Hardest part was looking for my U-lock, but
oh yeah.
yeah.
Sprang forth.
crashed because I was laughing too hard, like some dumb idiot.
The fuck was the joke?
Probably something like,
It's probably stupid.
yeah, it's
me-
probably
just
like
me being
ask for a
dumb.
Doritos Locos taco.
Oh, I think it was something like that. They were talking about fucking Taco Bell or some shit.
Yeah.
Some
Asking for Taco Bell items while you're in Mexico, but that's a little culturally insensitive.
yeah. It wasn't like that. I was very humbled by that experience.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Mushu.
Hi, Mushu.
And then, yeah, so I had another near miss on my way to fucking work the other day where this guy was just like turning out of a side street and just talking on his phone in his hand, like speakerphone, holding their phone level. Like, why? Okay.
Yeah.
I hate when they drive like that. But yeah, he just turns left right in front of me as I'm trying to turn left onto the street he's on, and I've got the right of way, and the dude like just never even
Blows
acknowledged
through
my
it.
existence. I was frustrated. But no, now we've hit all our talking points.
Yeah, how's second shift going?
I mean, it's okay. I haven't, been able to go the Wednesday evening rides anymore.
Yeah, I noticed.
Which is a real bummer.
Well, I haven't been on any in like a month and a half.
Because of the dysentery.
Yes. So don't feel bad.
Yeah.
We've all missed.
Yeah, I've been gone too.
I was super disappointed when I came to the realization that the Devil's Night Poker run is on a Wednesday this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be fucking kick-ass, but I won't be able to go
Oh,
because
no.
work. But coming home at 3 a.m. is kind of nice. Like, there's nobody on the roads. It reminds me of all the old 3 a.m. rides.
Oh, yeah.
And if it was like spring or summer, I'd probably just stay riding because like it's really nice at 3 a.m. So I see more of a need for a second shift group ride now.
Right.
But yeah, that's it. That's the talking points. Now the show's done. Steve, Dustin, thanks for coming on the Wheel Friends.
Yeah, it's been
Oh, well,
great,
thanks
as
for having
always.
us.
Dustin, do you want to talk about your record thing?
Band.
Oh, yeah. So.
You know that thing you do that you pour hours into?
Yeah. So my solo
Years.
project, Reekmere. I got a deal with a little indie record label. So
Congratulations.
the new full length will be coming out in 2020 sometime. There will be
Fuck yeah.
a physical release. There will be some CDs, I think, and some tapes.
Gonna get yourself a vinyl?
No
I know I said it like that.
vinyls.
He's going to do tapes that nobody can listen to because tape things don't exist anymore.
Do you drive an Oldsmobile Cutlass? Have I got the metal album for you?
Do you have a 93 Silverado?
Dude, that's, tapes are still kind of a big thing now. Like,
I know,
there's a bunch of
there's-
labels
yeah.
that only put shit out on tape.
Because people like Ben buy that shit.
Probably somewhere in the middle of 2020.
June.
I'm not.
6th.
We don't have any dates set yet, but it'll be happening.
Nice.
I'm pretty psyched.
Hooray!
Yay!
It's real.
It'll be real.
And then we can put you down finally. Now that
Yep.
your life's been accomplished.
Yep.
We can
Take
finally
you out
have that
behind the
house
shed.
fire we've always been talking about. Light a fire in the kitchen and go to bed.
Patreon.com/thewheelfriends. You can become a Patreon member. It doesn't get anything special yet, but I'm sorry. I haven't released an episode in so long. I'm sorry.
But this
I'm
is
busy.
a
I've been
socialist
freelancing, but I'm back now.
podcast and we need your money. Thanks for listening. Eat the rich.
Yeah, eat the rich.
As always, eat the
Ban
rich.
cars. Go ride your bike. Actually, I do think they should block off the 6th Street historic
cars.
bridge to traffic. I think it'd make a great park. Just connect Fish Ladder and that Riverside one. Pedestrians only.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Hail Satan.
Ride bikes, hail Satan.